tired all the time. I don't normally have that problem, but the last 2 weeks have been hell. And the reason being, I got stung by 2 wasps just as I was leaving the house to go to a race. It's been very interesting. My whole lower leg swelled up, massive inflammation, old man's leg, diabetic foot, whatever you want to call it, that's what it looked like. But a tremendous learning opportunity for me. Because, just by chance, I was working on this issue, and we have 2 articles, new articles on inflammation. One by Dr. Barry Sears, who was the author of The Zone, the precursor to Atkins, if you like, or a version of Atkins. Very low carb, but he's now come up with something called the resolution response, which is to do with, we did this in the first year, chronic disease having at its base chronic inflammation. And he's come up with a way of resolving it using nutrition. Meanwhile, Dr. Chandler Mars has revisited the cell danger response theory of Dr. Robert Naivu, which we've covered, I think it was in the May issue, approaching it from a slightly different angle. But the key factor in all this is that the inflammation requires a lot of energy to not only to maintain for healing, but then to resolve. And the problem is, as Naivu says, it can sometimes get stuck, and the inflammation won't go away. It doesn't help when you have wasp venom slinging around your system. But what goes on then is this starts to screw up the mitochondria, and of course that screws up your energy production, your ATP production, and guess what? You get tired all the time. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that explanation. But do have a look at those articles. What they have in common is that nutrition is the answer. And both, or actually all 3 of them, are talking about personalized nutrition, not shotgun nutrition. Meanwhile, this is Dr. Bredesen's fantastic new book on Alzheimer's. His first book, a little tricky to get through. This one has the benefit of what he calls something like 4,000 questions from readers who are probably puzzled as the rest of us because it was a little bit complex. And it's much clearer to understand and cooks everything down. Why I'm mentioning that is Alzheimer's and dementia is the leading cause of death in the UK. It is back as number 1, even during these COVID times. And on Saturday, we have a fantastic online conference starring Dr. Bredesen and some amazing information on what we've called resilience and immunity, not just for your clients, but for us as well. How do we build and maintain resistance and immunity? That's on Saturday. You can still book all online. You don't have to be there all day. Cheers.